next video is our Johnny Somali video. Let's skip.
Things.
Alright, and now, well, the day has come for the beginning of the trial of Johnny Somali. He has rampaged across South Korea for a year now, give or take, and his day of judgment is rapidly approaching, and I want to see exactly what happens, because seeing this guy get slow roasted by the Korean justice system is oh so satisfying. Because people like him who go to places where people are trying to live in peace and disrupt that peace for their own amusement, for their own entertainment, for their own monetary gain, are pieces of fucking shit. People who use those around them as props for their viral videos, quote unquote, are pieces of human trash. No one consented to be part of your prank, bro. Get fucked. Especially when the pranks are hurtful and insulting and degrading and deranged like Johnny Salami has been. So let's see him get the big legal dick shoved up his ass.
Things like last time things went awful for Johnny. This time it went terrible. He even got humiliated in court. I mean, it was really bad from the start. And just to start things off, I'm going to run through the whole trial so you guys kind of get a picture of how things were, even though you guys weren't there. So there was a few people there. There wasn't that many people this time. But Johnny let's see, at 3:59, Johnny's lawyer came in. So right on time for the trial and so on. Then at 4, a woman walked in who apparently was a witness. We didn't know of her. We hadn't seen her. We were assuming that Bong Bong was going to testify today, but apparently not. Then at 4:03.
I mean, if they had to bring in everyone who he fucking offended to testify, they would need to have the trial in a fucking stadium.
Hank walked in.
Ah, Hank. The bag of expired milk that acts as Johnny's bodyguard.
And that also confirmed that Hank is still associated with Johnny. Then at 4:05, so this is 5 minutes after his trial started, Johnny was still not there. So Hank, he starts panicking and talking to the lawyer, and they don't know where Johnny is. So then Hank has to run out of the courtroom and I guess call Johnny and figure out where this guy is. So moving on with my notes here, let's see, 1 second. Then we have at 4:07, Johnny then walks in, this time respectfully, in a fitting suit.
And not in his black KKK robe like he wanted to. You know, the fact that people like him can just wander around and fucking continue to be a fucking nuisance, a literal nuisance to regular, normal people. We need to bring back asylums. We really fucking do.
It seems like Johnny realized how bad things were and finally took the cue and he was like, okay, I'm gonna lock in because clearly things are not going well for him. So then everyone sits down, or everyone stands up, judge walks in, everyone sits down, okay, court starts. So then at 4:12, Johnny then confirms that he is still a quote unquote student and that he still actually lives at Hank's house. So that's interesting because Hank is going on to say, oh, Johnny does not live with me. I do not help Johnny anymore. I'm not associated with him anymore. Apparently that's not true. So then we have the 8 charges that he's currently facing.
Right. 8 charges? 8 charges? And there's more. I'm pretty sure there's a couple, like 1 or 2 more coming.
I have Gabe with me here who's been helping me translate and also find all the location and everything, and so on. So shout out to this man for being here. But essentially, so there's the first charges they talked about were it was the business obstruction charges. And yes, they were related to the buses, yes, correct?
This is the new charge.
Oh yeah, fucking with people using public transport. While I do have a car now, For most of my more than 3.5 decades of life, neither I nor my parents, and well, I mean that my dad had a car for a little while, but I don't remember what happened to it, and I didn't even have my dad past 6, so yeah, most of my life, neither I nor my parents had a car, so I took public transit, and sometimes it fucking sucks. Actually, most of the time it fucking sucks.
They announced today. So this is the one that we didn't know for sure, but I predicted was going to be the bus incident on the 27th.
So that was with, was it bus, was it 7011 bus, or was it 7013A?
It was 7011 and
Okay.
7013A.
Okay, and then you had another bus 20. Oh, so it was the 2024 incident. That's why it was bus 2024. Okay,
Yes,
so that's
yes.
okay.
This is
Right.
something that happened in 2024.
Okay.
So that's why, that's also why they're adding it to this case, among many reasons, is because it was all around the same time. So they consider
Right.
this a crime spree.
Okay,
A crime spree.
and so the
Oh, he's so
first two
cooked.
disturbances. So the first bus that was for playing NK propaganda on.
Playing North Korean propaganda in South Korea. That is so vile. And to just come to their country and fuck with them like that, and then to play, literally the propaganda of the country right next door that wants to destroy them is absolutely fucking vile and detestable.
Bus, and then the second one was for just text-to-speech donations and just disturbing the peace on the bus. So
Loud noises and
loud
refusing
noises.
to turn it down.
Yes,
Causing
and
a disturbance,
interacting.
and also the live streaming. That in itself they consider to be a disturbance. That making other people feel uncomfortable if you have your camera. Like right now, we're here. We're not.
I mean, yeah, I'm not an IRL streamer. I'm not even a streamer who uses a camera. I use screen capture and a voice capture program to capture my model and make it talk. I don't use cameras for my shit. But, if you go out and you live stream, you know, people might not be comfortable being broadcast to the world. Now, in public, you don't necessarily have an expectation of privacy. But on the bus where you pay to be, that might be a different story. Because, see, the bus is private property. At least here it is. I don't know about. I think there it is too because it's obstruction of business. So I think the public transportation out there is a private entity that probably gets subsidized. Like here, it's a private entity that gets subsidized partially by the government, but it is like its own entity. So it is part of public space, but it also kind of isn't. Like for example, you cannot bring weapons onto the subway, but I mean obviously like you can't ban weapons from public per se because that goes against the Second Amendment. But because the subway is private property, you can indeed ban weapons. So as a result of that, he's probably facing some sort of um the live streaming could be a sort of like a breach of privacy because I know in Korea and other countries there are more strict privacy laws when it comes to taking photographs of people and especially like live streaming their face. So the fact that he was doing that on a bus could very well also be another fucking nail in his coffin. Let's see.
Putting people in the frame, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you're on a bus, you're live streaming other people as well.
Yeah.
So that's considered a disturbance as well.
So then at 4:15.
I mean, yeah, back when I took public transport, if I was just sitting on the bus coming home from a long day of school or work, the last thing I'd want to do is wind up being a fucking background prop for some fucking hyperactive jerk off.
uh, you had that moment where they went, "Oh, if you change the time, we plead guilty here," and that didn't fully make sense to me. So, like, what was that about? Because that was what Johnny's team said.
It's very common for an accusation to have like some small mistake, like it be a date or a time or a location. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
If you say no, it wasn't this day, it was that day. It's
Still committing a crime. Oh, no, I didn't rob the bank on Monday. I robbed the bank on Wednesday.
Still a crime. It
Okay.
doesn't matter. But Johnny nitpicks about stuff like this, and the lawyer brought that up as an argument. And so the compromise was: do you admit to everything except the date that this happened? Yes, he admits to everything
Oh, he's cooked. Oh, he's fucking cooked.
except for the date. Okay, that's a guilty plea.
Okay, so yeah, then he pled guilty for all the obstruction charges. So all 4 obstruction of business charges.
Ready for motorcycle fun at half the price? Meet GT73 electric motorbike.
He pled guilty for.
Right.
Then
I don't think. Well, not that I don't think motorcycles should be electric, but one of the benefits of a motorcycle is you at least have a loud exhaust to make up for your reduced footprint of visibility, I guess. A smaller object is harder to see. That's one of the reasons, at least in my state, if you ride a motorcycle, at all times your headlight and taillight must be on because it helps you be seen more. It's not about you seeing, it's about other people seeing you. And because you're such a small thing on the road, the headlight and taillight, for one, know, oh yeah, you're not parked, you are going. And two, oh yeah, that's a motorcycle. I should watch out and not run into it. I was at one time going to get my motorcycle license. I will eventually one day, but I've got bigger fish to fry.
so because of that plea, then the witness got up and left because they no longer needed her to testify against him because we're assuming that the witness
She was probably from the bus incident then. And once he pled guilty, alright, he pled guilty. You don't need to testify. He said he did it.
was one of the workers at Lotte World who witnessed him, disrupt and stop the ride and do all the stuff he did there.
Oh yeah, he also fucking went and acted an absolute jackass of himself in what is essentially the South Korean version of like Disneyland, which is essentially an amusement park geared toward little kids. And he did and essentially blasted TTS of some very unsavory things. I hope they throw the book at him and then bury him beneath the library. This fucker needs to get slow roasted.
Yeah, when she turned around, I recognized her from the video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
100%. I recognized her from the video.
Okay. So then you had the whole deepfake charges. So the lawyer then said that Johnny was intoxicated. So they used him being intoxicated as an excuse for why
That's not an excuse. Oh my god, he's actually fucking retarded.
he distributed those.
Their number one argument is that, this was his lawyer finally making an argument, which they've been asking him to do.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what you're supposed to do in court.
Yeah.
And he keeps saying, oh, I gave you the evidence, or oh, I'll tell you later. But finally they got him to make an argument, and his number one argument was he did not produce the deepfakes, even though I think he probably did. Mm-hmm. Right? He did not produce the deepfakes.
But he shared them around. That's alone enough of an offense.
All he did was to distribute them. So you admit to distributing them.
That alone is the offense, dickhead.
Right. Okay. So that's essentially what happened. Yeah.
But he is insisting on a not guilty plea. So it looks like his lawyer.
He's actually retarded. He's actually fucking retarded. Like IQ level below the level of retardation. Like actually fucking retarded.
Somebody was able to convince him that the Lotte World charge was a lost cause.
Mm-hmm.
And
Johnny Somali is a lost cause. Like as a human being, he's not worth the effort to rehabilitate.
So that's what Johnny gave.
Interesting.
Guilty plea, changing the plea from not guilty to guilty for Lotte World.
Yeah.
But insisting on not guilty for the deepfakes.
Okay. And then that's when a new dialogue started because that's when the prosecution wanted to bring in witnesses for the deepfakes, and Johnny's lawyer did not want witnesses involved at all.
Right.
So then, what happened after they didn't want witnesses? What did the judge say, and how was the reaction of the court then?
This was interesting. Since he got overruled when he tried to block the witnesses.
Yeah.
They do not want Bong Bong to testify. They don't want Yongman. They don't want either of them to testify. That's
okay.
Clear. We know.
Yeah.
We know. We've known that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, he was actively in court trying to block them, and he was overruled on that.
Okay.
So.
Wah, wah.
But since they're having the witnesses, the lawyer requested more time than usual.
Okay.
To examine them.
So
why?
What's a normal time to examine someone, you think?
It depends on the case, and then all that they'll set it. And for this, they set 15 minutes for the defense for the lawyer to interview the witnesses. They set 15 minutes, and since he couldn't block it, he wanted more time with the witnesses, which means if they can't block the witnesses, they really want to grill them. So he might be planning on going all in on Bong Bong.
Oh, wow. Okay, so is it Johnny's lawyer that's grilling Bong Bong, or the prosecution that's grilling Bong Bong?
It'll be first the prosecution for 15 minutes, and
Yeah.
the next is Johnny's lawyer for 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then the judge might ask some questions as well.
And then you have another witnesses.
I didn't know the judge asked questions in the trial. That's interesting.
So it'll be ×2, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah. And
Interesting.
then another ×2 because they're going to do a translation for everything.
Oh,
so
wow.
that making it twice as long. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they got to translate from Korean to English and English to Korean for everything.
Okay. And that's happening in October. And then other than that, so
I really hope that they add all this to the bill that they're gonna charge him for when they send him to the cabbage farms. I cannot wait to see him on the cabbage farm.
Then you had what were the minor crimes charges? Were they ever brought up during this case or trial?
That is settled that the plea is guilty.
Okay.
So minor crimes, and now we can say obstruction of business. The plea is guilty for 6 charges.
Okay. Interesting. And so overall, how was Johnny's lawyer?
Flustered, definitely out of his depth. I kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I know he was pressured by Hank's family to be a part of this case, and I think he's trying to do his best to balance between Johnny and normalcy.
Yeah.
Sane, actual normal procedure.
Yeah. And how is the prosecution handling this case, you feel like?
I mean, obviously very professional.
Okay.
Right.
So would you
Meanwhile, Johnny's team is handling it like a literal fucking pack of rodeo clowns.
consider them to be pretty aggressive on this case, or how would you rate it?
I hope they're being super aggressive. I hope they go for fucking maximum fucking turbo velocity on his asshole.
Yes, I would say today they were aggressive on it. The paradox is, how can you simultaneously admit to having distributed, which is the crime that it's accused of, and insist on this not guilty plea?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Because he's a fucking moron. That's how. He's an actual moron.
It's thinking. The more I think about it, the crazier it is. But that's what we just witnessed.
Wow.
Is this lawyer using Johnny's argument?
Yeah.
Saying basically, I didn't make it, so I'm not guilty. Even though, again, I think he did.
And also, the whole charge is for the distribution. So they're like, oh, we didn't make it. I did distribute it, though. But I was drunk. That's essentially what we're seeing unfold.
Yes, that's the mental gymnastics that we saw happen today. Lawyer was very flustered, turning red, stuttering. I don't think he has a natural stutter like Hank, but he does have a strange way of talking.
Yeah.
But he definitely seemed very uncomfortable.
Interesting. Did the judge give any reaction to this, or was he confused, or how was the judge reacting to this?
The judge, as usual, is very, sort of above everything, above the fray, and was very calm and very patient with the process. But he's also the one who said, no, you cannot block these witnesses, and no, you cannot extend your, interview time with them.
Right.
Cross-examination.
Wow. Do you have any other overall thoughts on this trial?
That was crazy. That was just insane.
And
there's all this stuff. There's so much stuff that's just unprecedented. It's stuff you just don't do.
Okay, yeah. So this is just an absolutely not a normal trial.
This is like it's almost like Monty Python.
Really? Okay, yeah. So it is just a full-on clown fest.
It's a clown fest.
Okay.
It is absolutely a clown fest.
If you were going to give a prediction of how the prosecution was and in previous cases you've seen in Korea, what do you think the most likely sentence that he will get from all this is?
At this point, I think the prosecutor is going to say something like 4 or 5 years. Maybe
wow. Okay.
Because of Johnny's insistence.
Yeah.
And because of his insincerity with his guilty pleas.
Yeah. And now, fine.
I hope they do because Johnny's trying to play them for fucking fools. And I hope they're just like quietly sitting back, watching him rack up fuck ups, knowing that when the time comes to bring the hammer down, they're going to have a giant fucking mega hammer to fucking squish his little ass with.
Finally, he's locked in, but it also seems like it's kind of too late to start acting like he's actually sorry. Because he didn't actually act like he was sorry today. He was just being respectful. He was being a normal person today, from what I saw. And that's,
That's not good enough anymore, Johnny Salami. That is no longer good enough. You've done fucked up and caused too much damage to just go back to being a normal person.
that's really it. Yeah, the bar is really set low. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all for now.
Yeah,
I'll be making a full video soon. What would you say?
Hank was fine. Johnny's behavior was fine.
Yeah.
Lawyer, just feel bad for that guy.
I mean, I kind of do too, but he's being paid probably.
Well, that's it. Thank you guys for the support, and I'll see you guys when I make a full long-form video on this. I'll see you next one. Peace, guys.